guys! Are we on? Yeah? Okay. So I know I didn't give any warning for going live. I honestly kind of just decided when I was on the way here. So it's spontaneous and random and yeah. So the only real purpose I had that I wanted to talk about today that I thought would be fun to talk about live is the YouTube changes that are happening. And I know it's been talked about a lot. A lot of people have a lot of feelings on it. And so we're going to just talk about it. Hi, guys. So we're going to talk about the YouTube changes. And I'm going to kind of share my thoughts on it and how I'm going to address it with my channel. Because, to be totally honest with you guys, I have built up ad revenue, but I've never had a payout from YouTube yet. I've never actually gotten a check for it. I just have as much as I've gotten in ad revenue collected in my AdSense account. It's the only way I've ever even had the avenue for making money from YouTube. And so I have not hit the payout limit yet. I was very, very close to it, and it'll kind of be up in the air as to if I will hit that before these changes happen. And I have to be honest, when I first heard about the changes, I was pretty discouraged simply because of the fact that I am so close. I know a lot of people were like, I'm this close, and now it's gonna cut me off right before I would have at least gotten one check. And I was one of those people. Like, legitimately, I was really not mad, but discouraged at first. I was very like, not that that's ever been the only reason I've done this. I've never gotten a paycheck in the last 3 years of doing YouTube. So the regulations, yes, I can share those. It originally, there was no restrictions on YouTube partnership, really. You had to have an AdSense account and you could start building ad revenue. Obviously, if you didn't have a huge audience, you were building ad revenue really slowly. And that was me at first. I was making like $1 and something in ad revenue a month or something like that. That was not at all the reason I started my channel or even kept doing it. And as I've built my audience to bigger, I've made more a month in ad revenue, but I've still never even gotten to the first payout limit to ever have a YouTube check. So it's become this kind of bogged down system the way they had it. And the only change they made to it before this was they made it you had to have 10,000 lifetime views on your channel. And that first started, I think, when they had those weird kid channels pop up. And so they were trying something, but they didn't want to cut everybody off. And then things kind of just blew up and got worse. And everybody was calling it Adpocalypse 3.0 because people are stupid. But then now the new regulations starting February 20th is you have to have 4,000 hours of watch time a year. At least 4,000 hours of watch time accruing a year. So not lifetime. In one 12-month period, you have to get enough viewership to have gotten that and have 1,000 subscribers. So you guys know I'm like halfway there almost with both of those. I'm almost, hi Missy. This is my aunt's dog, Missy. Hi. She was very excited when I got here. I'm at my aunt's house right now. Hi. Okay. I'm close to halfway with both of those things. I'm at 306 subscribers last time I checked. Hi. New people. So I'm at 306 subs last time I checked. And, oh, that's scar tissue. And I have almost 3,000 watch hours in the last 12 months, last time I checked, I think. So, unless something crazy happens and that changes, I will stop being able to run ads on my videos starting the 20th. Oh, scar tissue is when you cut skin. It's the tissue that grows to heal it. It's from getting my ears pierced. Hi! So I'm not stopping my channel because of it. I'm not gonna jump to another platform or anything like that. Honestly, I went from being very discouraged. No, it's not an infection. It's literally just like scarring. It's just scar tissue. It's just skin. I have so many things that I've heard that have encouraged me out of it. Hi, Chloe. And people that have talked about it that have made me feel better about continuing. The biggest one has been, if you watch tech channels at all, Barnick's Nerdgasm. His name's Jerry, and I found him through Andrew's channels he watches. And he was talking about it. He talked about it. Yes, they're more restrictive. Much more restrictive. He talked about everybody that was getting discouraged about it and how everybody was reacting to it. And basically kind of twisted it on its head and showed how it's actually a huge opportunity for the people that actually care about doing YouTube, that aren't doing it for the money, that aren't doing it to be famous, that are literally just doing it because they enjoy doing it and because they want to. And you weed out everybody else that are all of the channels that are just repeating other people's content to get the views and get ad revenue from people thinking it's the other person's channel. Then you get all of the weird, crazy, disgusting kid channels that aren't actually kid channels. And you kind of end up with everybody that actually cares. And that means that those people that are left have a better chance. Not only are ad people gonna be willing to pay more to place those ads, they're gonna trust YouTube more and trust the creators on YouTube more, but there's a smaller pool you're working from. So you weed out all of those bad channels, and the people that care, or that do care, that are left are so much greater of content and have so much better chance because you're not doing something that everybody else is also trying to do. So it really encouraged me. And I mean, I don't know what my channel has in store for it, but I know I don't do it because of the paycheck. Like, I was never doing it because there was a possibility of getting paid. I never even got to experience getting paid. I may. I don't even know if I'll hit that before that becomes a thing, but that's not the point. I started this because I enjoyed doing it, and I'm not going to stop it just because that chance of a paycheck is now farther away. It's not even impossible. It's just farther away than I was. But this could make it actually happen faster after. The way he describes it is incredible. So while I encourage everybody to watch the video that I want to link with a grain of salt, because he likes to make some not always appropriate jokes and use some interesting language, he has a lot of good things to say. So thank you. Thank you for the encouragement. I do love to do it. I wouldn't have started it if I did. I wouldn't put as much time and effort into it if I didn't. So it's just a passion, and that can't be why you do something, no matter what it is, YouTube or not YouTube. And the rules are more restrictive in, like, you have a higher standard for your audience to be able to get paid. Smaller YouTubers are gonna have to wait a little longer to even be able to monetize again. But I also saw the comment saying that you think smaller channels will get more views and subscribers now. And that was kind of a lot of what I started hearing that made me feel better. That this takes out all of those bad ones, and it's a smaller pool now. You're not a really small fish in this huge pond of everybody trying to do the same thing. So if you stick with it, there's still that potential, if not better potential, after going through this growing pain of figuring it out than there was before. Everybody had been talking about, they are a lot. They're having to be that way because of all the backlash that happened. And it sucks that the people that don't break those rules, that are legit channels, are the collateral damage for that. And it's kind of just, it's come down to that because YouTube had been so freeform for so long, and everybody knew it, and so people doing ridiculous and stupid and inappropriate and dumb stuff got to probably make a lot of money. So, Jake and Logan Paul, well, I mean, they played a part in the Google Preferred program part of it. The stupid, arbitrary channels that were re-uploading other people's content, and the crazy, weird kid channels that were just gross and inappropriate are really the source of the changes YouTube made for being able to monetize. It's all about making it not worth their time anymore. And that's kind of, it's almost the way the channel I was talking about talked about it. He said it's almost YouTube encouraging you to step up. Step up, stick with it, prove you really want to do this. And then we know by that time you've gotten there, you've put in the hard work, and we know that you are in for this and not any of those other crazy reasons. So, oh, thank you. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I honestly don't know what it'll look like for how YouTube starts acting now in their algorithms, because I feel like it'll change it. They are a lot. They are a lot because it got abused, and there was no, honestly, at first I was really mad because I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything wrong. A lot of people that are getting cut from this along with me didn't do anything wrong. And they're having to be swept out with the people that did. And I think if you could ever put a good example to it, it's like clearing out a pool. You're getting rid of everything bad and starting over. You're just draining everything and cleaning it and starting over. And so now you have to build back up from square one. Thankfully, a lot of us, as long as you stick with the platform, you're not going to lose what you already have. That AdSense revenue you've already built up, the stuff that I have that hasn't been paid out to me, that is just sitting there, it'll sit there till I hit that. Unless I were to cash out my AdSense account, that's not going anywhere. And it'll sit there and really be there to make it quicker after. So if you were really close and now it'll be stopped before you get to there, it's not going anywhere. And so when you come back, it'll take that less amount of time for you to actually get a payout. And it'll be pretty quick after that once you get to there. It's just a matter of how quickly you get to there. It does suck in the sense that it was, I mean, for some people that actually made a little bit each month, I mean, no matter how big or small it was, that was a little bit that you now won't have. No matter how much it was able to do for you, it was there and you had it, and you could count on having it. And there was potential there to grow that amount, and now there's not. So, or starting February 20th. It's going to be interesting. One of the questions that I still have that I haven't really seen anybody talk about or seen addressed anywhere is the AdSense revenue between February 1st and the 20th that would usually be paid out the next month. Is that still going to get counted towards the ad revenue or not? Because February will be January's, because that's how it works. January is paid out in February, February is paid out in March. Each month, there's going to be some until the 20th that you're able to earn. Are you still going to get that if your AdSense account is cut off or your monetization is cut off? That's really interesting. I think it will because your AdSense account is still connected. But, yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to share my thoughts on it. And kind of my position with it. I'm not going anywhere at all. Hi. Yes, I started YouTube because I loved making videos. That was why I started it. If you go back to my very, very first videos, it has nothing to do with daily videos. It has nothing to do with, well, a little bit into them it does. It has nothing to do with any of the mental health videos that I do or the Turner syndrome videos I do. It's all about planning our wedding and getting engaged and then being newlyweds. And all of those, I was just having fun making videos. Like, almost nobody watched them back then. Nobody was talking about it. Nobody paid attention to them, really. I just did it because it was fun. And they're not the best quality at all. They're not wonderfully edited because I hadn't done it very much then. But it was just fun. It was fun to do. And then I was in this phase of trying to figure it out. And in the meantime, I got to practice editing. And I got to grow my love for just making videos and filming stuff and learning new tricks with how to do that and craft my own kind of style with it. And so it was never about that. It was just about having fun making videos. A lot of people don't know about Turner syndrome. So that's very cool that you found out through my channel, because that was kind of why I wanted to do it. And that's another reason that I would never want to completely stop my channel, even if I changed how it looked at any given point. I would never want to completely stop it, just because I still want to, you're right, even doctors don't always know, and don't always know very much. I still want to have those conversations. I still want to talk about all of that and be able to share my experience and just be somebody that can listen and give information to people that are looking for it and share the right information that I found out through just having it. And yeah, so that is so important to me, and the mental health videos are so important to me, and I love documenting our life. I would never want to just stop, especially because it's not a livelihood we depend on. And that's just not the point. But it is for some people that were hit by it. Somebody said, would I explore a new format? Do you mean like switch up how the videos are done, or do you mean like explore a different platform, like a different website, not YouTube? I think both of those are interesting, and a lot of the stuff that I've seen from the bigger channels talking to the ones that are now super upset about monetization is you should never have your eggs in one basket anyways. And a lot of how they make their money is not largely through YouTube. It's through a lot of other avenues that their channel growing opened up for them. So if you look at a lot of them, they have Patreon pages. They have other ways people donate. They're on other websites at the same time. And they are very diversified. I don't even know what that would look like for me. But it's definitely something to think about, because that is important. Like, don't only depend on one avenue. And I would say don't only build something you're working towards growing just this one tunnel vision way. So I honestly, I want to feel free to try new things with my channel, whether that's doing random videos that I just came up with, or doing a different intro, or switching up how I do a certain type of video I usually do. I think that's fun, and that can kind of refresh it. And, you know, okay, I've been doing it the same way for a long time. I need to get the creative juices flowing and try something new. I think that's always something to think about. And having it on another platform while also continuing to try to work on the YouTube side of things, as far as, I don't know, having a possibility of something happening with YouTube, because YouTube has been very up and down from pretty quickly after I started regularly posting. They've been very up and down. They've been very unsteady. And a lot of people have said it's not the same as the beginning, and a lot of people are applying that same formula that all of the big YouTubers shared. Like, oh, this is how you make money on YouTube. And it doesn't work that same way anymore. All of those formulas, which I've heard a lot of those formulas. I've seen those videos where they're talking about, you do this and you can do this, and this is what you pay attention to grow your channel. And in such a big pond of so many channels, of so many people just not caring and just doing it to do it, and they're just trying to get the ad revenue. So they'll do anything. And it's so hyper flooded that you can't use those anymore. You're a little fish in a big pond, and those formulas no longer work. Those formulas worked when there was like 50 big creators instead of hundreds of big creators, because that's what YouTube became. And I think that's another reason why YouTube did what they did, because they saw how long it had been going on and how badly it had bogged down the whole system. It had flooded it and nobody could do anything. And I don't know what's going to happen, but I really feel like we don't know. So there's no reason to emotionally react in a way of like just stopping it all together and just jumping ship completely. I think diversifying is always great and that's fine, but I don't think there's reason to think it's the end of the world. It just is almost a challenge to kind of step up and prove yourself almost. YouTube is demonetized for a few reasons. They added to their censor policies, I guess. I think something like that, because I was hearing stories of people just showing pictures of kids, like family channels, getting demonetized because of how the kid looks in the picture, in the thumbnail. And so then when you push request review, when it gets demonetized, they look at that and they say they don't like that. So they validate it. I've had, less so recently actually, but I've had to fight that with mine. Some of mine, I don't even know why. And they've been struck as not ad friendly. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm not talking about anything crazy. But it's almost like they got so scared because of the seemingly okay things, and then the ad placers totally freaked out and left because of the type of videos ads were ending up on. And that was adpocalypse. That was the whole beginning of this whole thing. And so now they're so sensitive, it's like walking on eggshells. And you never know what is going to be demonetized and what they're going to legitimize as, yeah, that's a good reason we don't want ads on that video. Yes, for kids, a lot of it isn't just the overt abuse or exploitation. They're looking at, is the kid comfortable being filmed, or are you exploiting them for the camera like that? Like, not in any suggestive way, but just you're shoving a camera in their face and then tagging it with cute kids or whatever, like stuff like that they don't want to see. And they don't want to see a video that shows a situation where a kid could be embarrassed, or a kid looks uncomfortable, or is being demeaned in some way. Stuff like that, they're being hyper sensitive to, because a lot of what they got hit was for the weird kid channels that got through their safety net and were able to be watched by kids, and parents were horrified. And ad placers were horrified. Pretty much everybody was horrified, because that's disgusting. But that made them be super sensitive, so that, yeah, if it's a weird thumbnail of a kid, it's getting demonetized. No matter what the video actually shows was the situation, I think. And it's all about how you sell it and what the motivation behind it might be. And that's kind of the whole basis of now what they're shifting to. And that's what's continued this whole thing. So it's going to be an interesting ride, and it's going to be interesting to see how YouTube looks after February 20th, not in all of these channels disappearing all at once, but in how the people left adjust, how they go about handling the communication again, and what the trending videos look like, how easy it is for your video to get seen. And I think a lot of it is going to change, and I've started hearing more and more that has made me feel more positive. about how it's going to change, to actually think it's not the end of the world. It'll be okay, and this could all be for a very good outcome in the end. And then maybe you earn YouTube's trust again. Like, the creators on the platform, they don't feel like they need to babysit anymore because we can act like adults. But that's just what I've been coming across now. Thank you. I really wanted mine to be family friendly. I like talking about certain hot topics, like not a ton, but I mean like talking about the teacher and leaving the voicemail, and then about Logan Paul. And I like talking about the deeper important stuff with mental health and not shying away from that. But I don't talk about it in a gratuitous, super inappropriate, like just being over the top and unnecessary kind of way. I always, like, I would not want somebody that has kids to feel uncomfortable putting on my video. Like, I'm not saying, yeah, sit your kids down in front of my videos, but not feel uncomfortable that they're going to hear something inappropriate. You know, they can watch the cute little videos of Max, and I don't want that to be dispersed within just inappropriate language or something, or inappropriate jokes. That's just very, very bad, and I don't like that. So I would never want to be like that, and I try really hard to keep my stuff professional to some extent, while, you know, joking around and having fun, not being gross or inappropriate. Thank you. You guys are like schooling me in TS stuff in the comments. Oh my goodness. The skin stuff is very interesting. Thank you. Foster care, I don't have a huge update yet. I feel like that's what I always say, but I don't. I mean, we're in a really good position, and stuff is happening with it. Exciting stuff is happening with it. But I mean, we still have a lot of the process to go through still. Like, we still have the bulk of the physical hard work left. So there's no like hard and fast date, because it just depends when we finish it. But definitely I am going to keep updating you guys on that. And I will always do those videos. Always. It may change how things look, but I'm never going to not share with you guys as much as I can. You guys know me. I'm an open book. I talk about everything. Probably I share more than most people would, but that's okay. Yes, it's a very hard process in a lot of ways. It's a very slow process, but it has been very, very worth it. And I know that this process is what God had for me. Like, this is a process that is preparing me so much for when we do get to the finish line and we do have kids. I will end up being a better mom because we went through this than if we hadn't had to. And while that's hard, because it's not easy, I'm glad for that. Like, I'm very glad that we're able to go through it because of that, and I'm very grateful for it. So it'll all be worth it. It'll all be worth it. You just have to get through it. But you guys help me, because you guys are so encouraging, and Andrew's amazing, and my family's amazing to talk to about it. So I have watched a little bit of Phil and Alex. I also saw somebody was 13 and watches me and found out about the infertility side when they were 12. I found out when I was 10. And I didn't fully understand it then until I got a little older. And I think the biggest advice I could give you is give yourself grace and patience to grieve through it and be open to all of the possibilities. You might not ever be able to have your own biological child, but that's not what makes you a mom. Just because they're not genetically yours, if you're the one getting up at 3 a.m., if you're the one kissing boo-boos, if you're the one taking them to doctor's appointments, making sure they're eating good, if you're the one taking care of them, you are their mom, and there's nothing that could ever take that away from you. So you will never have to think you are not a mom. It's just God will bless you with children in other ways. And that's hard to get to because it's sorry, I know, I'm gonna make myself cry too. Gosh. It's not easy to get to because I know for me, I dreamed since I have memories. So you said 2, probably about the same. I always wanted to. And it has taken me a very long time, and a very amazing husband, and patient, and very, very often moments of crying when I needed to get through it. But I got through it. I'm getting through it. It's a process, and that's okay. So yes, you said half your sister, so it'd be half. That is very, very cool. I have heard I've had a lot of people ask me about female family members and using their eggs. If you have that kind of relationship with her and you could do that, that would be awesome. I couldn't at 13 either, and I told my mom that, and she almost had a heart attack. Because I was like, I can't wait to have kids. And she was like, yes, you can. And I was like, well, I don't mean right now. But you sound a lot like me. I was very, very, I love kids. I've always loved kids. It just, like, anything I can mother, I mother. So, yeah. Hang in there. And be open to options, because there are a ton of options. So always be open-minded. Yeah. So, and I think a lot of teachers feel that way. And I know with our foster kids, I'm going to feel that way. With their friends, I'm going to feel that way. I just mother everything. Okay, so do you guys have any questions? I haven't gotten to do a live video in so long because our internet sucks. So I'm at my aunt's and her internet is a lot better. So I can actually live stream. So ask any questions you would like. I have a few more minutes. Also, I have an exciting announcement for you guys. Oh, hormonal teenagers. Yeah, I'm sure that's fun. I'm sure that's even more than camp. The adoption process, it depends on how you go through it. It depends what avenue you use, because foster care, the 2 different avenues that we've looked at, which is like regular foster care or foster to adopt, which is close to matching adoption. Matching adoption takes longer. It's a longer process. There will be more time without kids in your house. For regular, there's not. There's also more of a chance of you not being able to adopt the kids that come through your house. And that's not supposed to be how you approach it. But traditional, like just through a normal straight adoption agency, I would imagine it's around the same. And the initial like quote for how long ours would take is like 6 months to a year. They put the year on there because stuff happens and who knows how long certain parts of it'll take or what you'll need to work on to get to that point. But we were given a quote of like 6 months to a year, and I think we'll actually be finished when it's like maybe 9 or 10 months. I'm hoping not longer than that, but I keep saying that, and then more stuff comes up. So we'll see. But I would say 6 months to a year is good to count on. I don't know the other forms of adoption though. There's embryo adoption that I don't think takes as long. And in that, if you have Turners and you're looking at that, you would need to be cleared for pregnancy. You would need to have a doctor check you for health concerns that can come up during pregnancy. But I don't think that one would take as long. Regular adoption, I think generally probably is 6 months to a year also. So I would say count on that. I saw somebody say they feel like they're the only one in here that doesn't want to be a mom. There are a lot of Turner's girls that I see that are totally fine with the infertility because they're not kid people. They just don't have that in them. So it's almost, I don't know about a relief, but it's not a stress for them. And I feel like maybe it helps them have more of a choice in it. They don't have to feel as stressed about it happening when they don't want it to. So I think everybody's different, and it's okay to feel however you feel about it. I'm glad you enjoyed connecting. I would love to do more live videos. And my exciting announcement, I have a very exciting announcement for you guys. Very fun. I'm really excited. Can you tell? I keep saying excited. I'm excited. If you follow any Turner Syndrome stuff on Facebook, you might have seen the page, the KCTS Diaries. Let me make sure. I think that's right. I just looked it up to make sure. Yeah, let me make sure. Yes, the KCTS Diaries, Kansas City TS Diaries. They are a Facebook page that does a live video every Sunday. I will be on their live video tomorrow. So I will be doing a live stream with the Kansas City TS Diaries Facebook page. They call it Short Talk Live, which I think is really cute. And yeah, we're going to be chatting tomorrow. I'm going to be on it. I'm really excited. So make sure you check that out if you have that page. I think you can go to the page even if you don't have Facebook. I think. It will be at, I'm getting it confirmed. I'm hoping it finalizes and works out. It should be 3 o'clock Pacific, 5 Central. Yeah. 3 o'clock Pacific, 5 Central, 6 Eastern. And it will be a live stream. So if you miss it, you can still go back and watch it because Facebook lets you save it to the page once you do a live stream. Yeah. Some people feel that way before they have kids as far as not feeling capable, and then they have them, and it can be a totally different experience than you expect. So it's just, everybody's different. Yeah. So as far as if IVF is painful, there's a lot of injections in IVF. There's a lot of shots you have to take. I don't know as far as like the transfer procedure, but I know there's a lot of shots involved. Especially if you have to do, Yeah. Emotional investment, honestly, is always the part that catches me up. Like, I don't like needles at all. I hate needles. I'm horrible with needles. I don't like them. But I have a pretty high pain tolerance. So generally, I'm fine. And like for getting blood drawn, I have really good veins. So it doesn't usually, unless the person just isn't good at their job, they I have no problem and it doesn't hurt me that bad. I just don't like them. But it depends on how you are with needles and how sensitive you are to needles. Because that's going to be the hardest part. IVF is in vitro fertilization. So it's basically where they take eggs and the sperm and connect them outside. And then they fertilize it, make an embryo, and then implant it back into the mom. Yes, Anne, I know it was a little bit of a rude awakening for you as well. But Natalie's awesome. Those are good questions. See, that's another reason I love doing this. I wish I had somebody to ask those questions of when I was 13. I wish I had somebody that I could watch go through it or just ask questions because they're older and they've figured more of that out. Because honestly, at 13, I was thinking about that stuff. Like, what's that going to be like? What's that going to look like? I can't believe she's already 6. Oh my gosh. She's so big now. I'm not gonna lie, I have prayed for it to happen on its own quite a bit. But that's kind of that's always going to be a hope of mine. And that's okay for it to be. It's okay to want that. I know, oh my gosh, Anne, my oldest nephew is in middle school. Like, what? How is that even possible? Makes me feel so old. Yes, God always has a greater plan and a plan with reasons we are not fully able to understand. There is risks involved with it happening on its own. It depends on a lot of different things, and I think probably it could be if it was any eggs you produced. If it was a girl, there could be a risk of her having Turner syndrome too. And while that would in no way for me be oh, there's something wrong with that or I don't want that, but we know the health complications that can come from it. So I've always thought of it as I would love for that to happen, but that's a lot to put on somebody. And that's health risks you're taking and stuff like that. So I totally understand being worried like that. It's just crazy. So much that goes into all of that side of Turner syndrome emotionally, and it's not easy. It's my least favorite part because it's the one that has the most complicated answer. So I didn't really have trouble making friends, but I always kind of felt a little different, and I've never really been that confident. I've always kind of been an outsider, even when the insiders were cool with me and like liked me, I've always felt like an outsider because I never wanted to be like that. Like, I never wanted to be the cool kid. I gravitated towards the other outsiders. And I felt different. So it's definitely something that comes along with Turner syndrome, feeling different. Thank you. The whole menopause thing is very common because I know on my own, if I just didn't take my pills, I easily throw myself into menopause because that's what my natural hormone levels are at, which sucks. But that's a thing. It is something to think about, and it's kind of scary because you can so easily affect yourself. Yeah. I deal with the weight thing too, obviously. I get really down on myself about it, and I struggle with it. Sometimes I feel better than others. I don't know that I've been, I had one person kind of bully me for it or make rude jokes. I don't know fully, I mean, it was moments of bullying, but it wasn't like a pattern with it. Yeah, that's a struggle. And there's struggles with the weight issue on both sides, whether it's being overweight and struggling to keep your weight down at a healthy level or being underweight and struggling to keep your weight up at a healthy level. That's a struggle, and it can really, really mess with your self-confidence and just feeling secure. It's hard. Yet most Turner syndrome girls don't get a cycle without help. I have never heard of a Turner syndrome girl having help, having the hormone therapy and not getting a cycle. But I know there's a lot of different hormone therapies that are options that you don't get one as often. So there are different stuff, like there's one of the birth control shots. You only get a cycle like every 3 months or something. So you only get very minimal. Like you don't get one every single month. I've never heard of if they have help not getting it, but yes, definitely that's one of the biggest symptoms is you don't start your cycle on your own. I know I started puberty on my own, but I didn't finish it and get a cycle on my own. That didn't happen until I was on HRT. And I got a huge growth spurt right before it, and then I think HRT helped even more. So I was all excited because I thought I was going to get to 5 foot. That didn't happen. Just under. Literally just under. I was so upset that I couldn't have stopped at 5. But if I wear any shoes, I'm basically 5. So yeah, that was another thing because I was always the short one. And I feel like that plays into weight too because there's only so much space for that to stretch out on. Ah, I'm back! Somebody called me and it cut off on my phone. So sad. I'm sorry guys, but I'm back. Hopefully I'm still back. Can you guys still see me? There we go. Okay, you can still see me again. Somebody called my phone. My aunt called my phone, and it cut off when she called. So I'm sorry. Yeah, this was really fun. I need to do these more often, and I wish we had the internet at camp to do it, but we really don't. I wish. I'm thinking about maybe making the Mental Monday a live stream also. So let me know for Mental Monday what you guys would like the conversation to be about, and if you would like a live stream again, or if you would want like the normal Mental Monday video, let me know. And that could be fun because I could probably do it again Monday. Yeah. Let me know what you guys would prefer for Mental Monday because I could do another one then. And that would be really fun. So, this was really fun. Are there any last questions or last thoughts that you guys have? I've been on here almost an hour. That flew by. Okay, so I'm seeing positive reaction to Mental Monday live stream. No topic yet. Okay, that's okay. There's time. Ooh, bipolar. I did bipolar 1 and bipolar 2, but talking about it live would be really fun. What time? Usually early afternoon or morning would work, but let me know what works for you guys, because if there's a better time that more people would be able to watch live, that obviously would be more fun. It'd be more of a conversation. And back. She called again. We were trying to plan dinner. She was asking me about dinner. I'm being bad and we're getting fast food for dinner because she's getting here late. Okay, I saw a comment pop up, but I didn't get to read it. Do I know of any other TS girls who something? Send the comment again because I want to answer it. That sounded like an interesting question. I apologize. I'm back again. I don't think she's going to have to call me again. She's picking up dinner for us. Food! I'm kind of hungry. Let's go till 3:15 Eastern. Okay, I'm Pacific. Nobody TS girls personally, and do you know how you can meet girls with TS in real life? I, in person, have only met one other girl who had Turner syndrome in my life, and I'm almost 27. In real life, you could get connected with a Turner's group in your area. There are a lot of conferences you could attend. There's walks to benefit Turner syndrome you could attend that you would probably meet a significant amount of other girls with Turner syndrome at any of those choices. And then there's online. I mean, if you really cultivated relationships with those that are in your area, you could then grow it to in person. So you could become a friend online and then grow that friendship and say, hey, we live close enough. Why don't we actually meet up and hang out and talk about all of this stuff and, you know, get to know each other a little better. I know there's a ton of different Turner's groups in different areas, and that's an amazing way to get connected. And then there's conferences. Faith, Hope, Love just commented the one for this year in July in Arlington, I think she said. So that would be the conference. I've never gone to a conference. I think it would be really, really fun, but I've never gotten to go to one yet. I am kind of still pretty new as far as becoming a part of the Turner syndrome community because I didn't know anybody. I never went to any groups. I had only ever met that one girl in person that had it. So I've pretty much built. Yes, that's Virginia. I would love to go too, so much. I pretty much built my Turner syndrome community online. Yes, walks for Turner syndrome are amazing, and there are a couple this year that I would love to go to. So that would be really fun. I think there's all of those opportunities that it's just nice to have somebody else to talk to that doesn't have to try to imagine how you feel. They know how you feel. They've gone through the same things. They have those same issues in the same way that they're processing through also. And it's still going to look different because everybody is unique. But it's so helpful and so important. So I think that would be very, very great if you could go, and that would be fun since you said it's your birthday month. I can't speak. I'm so tired, guys. Anyways, I think I'm gonna go because I think our dinner is on the way. Or me and my aunt, our dinner. I'm tired. Anyways, any final thoughts? Abby. Nice to meet you, Abby. I know I'm recognizing a lot of you from commenting on videos, and this is really fun to get to talk to you like this more. Yes, Amazon Princess, it's just there's a different perspective with it, because you know, they know how you feel. They're affected. They're at risk for those same things, and a lot of the time they're affected in the same ways. Like, they're on HRT also. They're dealing with infertility also. And the biggest example of somebody not TS being able to understand something I'm going through has been infertility, because I had a very close friend to me that also dealt with PCOS, and so she was very, like, me and her were really able to connect in that way because she understood. But there's a difference between that and understanding everything else that comes along with it, and being physically and biologically affected in that same way. So it's a very, very unique connection, and it's incredible. So it's definitely important, and I'm really, really grateful for the community around that I've been able to build online. So I'm gonna go. This was so much fun, and once again, leave your vote for if you want a regular Mental Monday or a live stream Mental Monday in the comments, and make sure that you leave an idea for a Mental Monday topic also, and that will be really fun. Yes, doctors do not always know or understand Turner syndrome. While it doesn't feel like it's as rare as it seems to be for how much awareness there is of it, I don't think all those doctors get enough experience working with a patient that has it to fully understand it enough. And it's insane to think about, but I've had quite a few doctors comment and tell me that my videos were the first major exposure to a patient with Turner's they've had, outside of reading what it is in their textbook. That's just insane to me, that a doctor being in practice for multiple years can have not been exposed to it more than that. And I think that just goes to show there's work and awareness to do. It's crazy. You should try to do live streams. Live streams are fun. Okay, I'm gonna go. Thank you guys so much. I know some people hopped off when it cut out the first time, but thank you guys so much for hanging out and talking and just chatting about everything we got to chat about. This was a good conversation. This was fun. So I will see you guys tomorrow, and leave your comments about the Mental Monday topic, because I'm seeing a lot of upvotes for a live stream for it, which would be really fun again. And yeah, so I will see you guys tomorrow, and I hope you have a good evening.